So Democrats want to shut down the government now, but they're for the federal workers. Yeah, the hypocrisy continues.
Bill Speaker Johnson is giving some remarks before taking questions. They got a big vote ahead of them. Let's listen in.
Hill and on to cable news shows to protest President Trump's efforts to make the government more efficient. Now, they're planning to vote down this simple bill. They are going to try to shut the government down. Every House Democrat will participate in this. It looks like that would be a shame if it's true. I hope some of them will have a moment of clarity themselves and do the right thing, but it looks like they're going to try to shut down the government. It's a striking new posture for Democrats who have always said they've just been apoplectic about the prospect of government shutdowns.
You know what's blown my mind for the past week? So you know when Elon Musk or his Doge team sent out the email to all the federal workers to list 5 things that they did at their job or work week prior? These same people that are bitching about that email have the time and the courage and the mindset to go out and protest for hours and hours and hours on end. But you're meaning to fucking tell me you can't sit down at a goddamn computer and just name 5 simple things that you did at your fucking job the week prior? You have all this time to go out and protest, but you can't name 5 fucking things that you did at your goddamn job. It's wild to me. I'm gonna make a t-shirt. I'm gonna call them. Let's see here. What's a good one? Hypocritical crats. Hypocritical crats. That's all they are. They're just hypocritical. It's insane. They preach and preach and preach about all this and this and that, caring about people and caring about this, but then their actions are completely different, completely vice versa from what they preach.
Video out about an hour ago on social media. I encourage you to go see that. They have been their own words. You don't need to trust us on this. But Catherine Clark, here's one little zinger from her, quote, "Not only is it irresponsible and purposefully misleading, but it's also a dangerous precedent to be threatening a shutdown," unquote. Now remember, this is in last year, years past. Pramila Jayapal, quote, "The tragedy here is all the civilian employees. It's the employees who are going to suffer," unquote. AOC, quote, "It is not normal to hold 100,000 workers' paychecks hostage. It is not normal to shut down the government when we don't get what we want," unquote. I don't think I've ever agreed with her before. She's exactly right. Jerry Nadler said, quote, "Shutdown is really an extremist policy designed to appeal to an extremist base and hold the whole country hostage." Yeah, we agree. So they and all their colleagues need to do the right thing. Democrats have been insisting they're fighting for federal workers. You're about to see, again, on vivid display, very clear the contrast. You will see one team that is working to fund the government.
You know what I find funny about AOC? She just got caught that one of her employees that she employed during her whatever it was an illegal immigrant. And then when Trump came into office, he fled back to Colombia because he was an illegal immigrant. Is it not? I don't know if I'm living in a twilight zone or what, but is it not illegal to hire illegal immigrants to work for you? Because that's why we have to do taxes, and that's why we have a social security number for a reason in America. It's wild. And then when she was talking about what you can do as an illegal immigrant to come to this country, so that way ICE can't get a hold of you, and she calls them her constituents. Your constituents are the American people, not illegal immigrants. You big-headed, big bug-eyed, fly-looking, four-headed fuck. I can't stand AOC and the ghetto-ass Jasmine Crockett. I can't fucking stand either one of them. It blows my mind that they're even apart. This AOC, this bitch couldn't even name 3 branches of the government. I asked my son months ago what the 3 branches of government are, and he's about to graduate kindergarten, and he told me them right off rip without even hesitation. Blows my mind that these people are not only in the government, but they make 6+ digits a year. Fucking unreal.
Make sure we do the responsible thing. And you're going to see another posing the CR because they've now exposed the truth. They're not for federal workers. They're not for anyone. All the people they've said in the past that are going to be harmed would be by their votes. They're using federal employees as props. They're using Medicaid benefits and Social Security checks as cudgels in this thing. The threat of government shutdown, they're using it as some sort of attempt to wrestle power away from the President of the United States, who overwhelmingly won the popular vote, the Electoral College, in every single swing state. Here's the bottom line. If congressional Democrats refuse to support this clean CR, they will be responsible for every troop who misses a paycheck, For every flight delay, from reduced staffing at TSA, for every negative consequence that comes from shutting down the government. I understand they have an important retreat this week. Boy, I'd love to be a fly on the wall at that party. Comes at a critical time since they don't have a leader, a message, or a platform. And I'm just going to say this. If our Democrat colleagues want to increase their 21% approval rating with the American public, they ought to start by doing the right thing and keeping the government open. I think that'd be a great first step. So I'll take questions.
And just like I said earlier, they claim to want to help these federal workers and all these federal employees and this and that, but then in the same breath they want to shut down the fucking government. It's wild. How does nobody recognize this hypocrisy? Well, I don't want to say nobody, because I think this last election clearly showed that. I think people are waking up. I genuinely do. Especially like my generation. I'll be 34 on Sunday. And the mainstream media has just been lying for decades, man. It's time to put them to an end.
Yes.
Speaker, you continually criticize the Democrats. Doesn't that imply that you don't have the votes on your side because you wouldn't need Democratic assistance to keep the government open?
No, we'll have votes. We're going to pass the CR. We can do it on our own. But what I'm saying is Democrats ought to do the responsible thing, follow their own advice in every previous scenario, and keep the government open. It's their choice. I wish it could be a unanimous vote in the House chamber today. That would be a great thing for America. But they're not going to do it, Chad, because they're on this lost, they're wandering in the wilderness, and they're cursing the sky at the same time. And you're going to see that today. They're going to vote no, and they're going to come out and try to pan it, and they're going to lie about it. And we're calling on you guys to call them to account. Make them tell you the truth about the bill. They didn't read it before they said all that nonsense. So ask them that. Ask them how they think.
The president went after one of your own colleagues yesterday, Thomas Massie, who does plan to vote against this. He says he should be primary. Do you agree with the president? Should Thomas Massie be primary for his vote against this?
Look, I'm in the incumbent protection program here. That's what I do. Speaker of the House, and you know me and my style and my, the way I do this job. I bless those who persecute me, right? So Thomas and I have had disagreements, but I consider Thomas Massie a friend. He's a thoughtful guy. I guess he'll tell you he's doing what he thinks is right on this. I just vehemently disagree with his position, but I'll leave it at that.
Mr. Speaker.
And this is another thing I've noticed consistently with the Republican Party as an independent voter. The Republican Party is okay with disagreeing with the other side, and they don't become violent. They don't start burning churches and bridges and small businesses and corporations down. They don't start going out and punching people in the street. They don't do that. And I don't know if anyone needs a quick history lesson, but was it not the Republican Party that got rid of slaves from Democrats? I haven't seen Democrats this outraged or witnessed. No, I wouldn't say witnessed because I didn't actually physically alive, but I haven't witnessed or seen or whatever. I just said witnessed again. The Democrats haven't been this upset since the Republicans took their slaves away. And these people, for the last 4 years, have been advocating for all these illegals to come over here. So you're meaning to tell me that the party that is supposedly for the people, cares about the people, and everyone on the globe is advocating for people to come over here illegally with possibly with their children, put not only themselves but their children and their family entirely at risk at the expense of slave wages and working without a work permit, without a social security number, and just sitting on a visa or or something else or whatever it's called. For what? For what? What? $1 or $2 less an hour? No. I pick crops for a living. I'm a labor worker for a living. I love doing it. I physically love doing it because I know that what I do gets people to their job and back every single day. I love what I do because I know for a fact that I'm making people in my county, in my state, all across the globe, all across the country of America and even the globe, making people safe. I love what I do. I love working hard. Okay? I don't want to sit at a desk working a 9 to 5. I've done it. I don't want to do it anymore. It's not me. I like being out in the sun. I like being outside. I like working, knowing that I'm doing something for other people and making their lives safer. I don't want to just sit at a desk and answer calls. I don't want to just, I've tried doing this. I've done it. And this was during COVID. And I got let go from 2 different careers of making $80,000+ a year, almost 6 digits a year. And I got let go from both of those jobs because I refused the vaccines, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, it sucked at the time. I'm still struggling. I'm still trying to pick up the pieces. But I know one day that it'll be much better for me, and I know one day it'll be much better for not only me, but my family and my son and everybody involved that I love and care about. God has a plan, and I know he does. But something I've noticed about the Democratic Party consistently is whenever they don't get their way, or whenever they're presented with logic, facts, and reason, they just either put their tail between the legs and run away. They walk out. They can't debate. They can't even talk to anybody that talks about anything controversial. But yet these are for the people. The Democratic Party claims to be for the people. But they can't even hold a fucking 20-minute fucking debate that's unscripted. Yeah, but they're for the people. Okay.
You, in the past, did not vote for CRs when you were a rank and file member. You have said in the past that you were done with short-term CRs. By my count, my math might be a little off. This will be the 5th continuing resolution that you're presiding over as Speaker of the House.
Yep.
What do you say to your conservative colleagues who have heard you in the past promise that you were going to start to go through a regular appropriations process, but yet again find themselves in a position where they have to take a difficult vote on a CR?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll rewind and replay the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus here, Dr. Andy Harris, who said it so well. This is a different CR than anything we've seen in our careers in Congress. I've been here 8 years. He's been here a bit longer. It normally is something that's a patchwork to give us more time to try to get to the appropriations process. This is totally different. A year-long CR, which is the first that I think we've had. I don't know that there is a precedent for an actual year-long CR. It solves the problem because it freezes federal spending. It takes care of these immediate priorities that have been articulated here. And it allows us to move forward with changing the size and scope of the federal government. There is a seismic shift going on in Washington right now.
And I want to speak on another thing with Doge, okay? Everyone that's against Doge and against Elon Musk, either A, doesn't actually care about people, doesn't actually do or have actions what they preach. They just talk shit just because they want to feel important to the other side, aka Democrats. Whether you agree or disagree with Doge, if there's no fraud or if we have no waste in the government, just let them do what they're doing. Who cares who's doing it? Like me, as an independent voter, my dad's talked about ever since I was little the corruption of like George Soros and stuff. Even if George Soros was doing this, let's put George Soros in instead of Elon Musk having Doge. I would support George Soros doing Doge. Now, I'm not saying he would do it the right way, but I would support that. I would support it and let it run its course. I would. And I'm sure probably 95+% of Republicans or independent voters would agree with me on that. Also, at the same time, I believe a lot of people are very ignorant to who Elon Musk truly is. This man created a video game at the age of 12 called Blaster in 1983. He created electric cars to help the environment. Tesla, SpaceX. He's doing Neuralink, the Boring Project. He started OpenAI, and then Sam Altman's ass came in, and OpenAI was a non-profit thing, and then Sam Altman came in and destroyed it. And that's why I think Elon Musk isn't happy with Sam Altman being in the position he is in the government at the moment, but it is what it is. Now he's doing Doge. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen the interview that Elon Musk did when the reporter asked him, well, aren't you worried about losing money, or aren't you worried about, the other side shutting? It's like, so Elon Musk stopped and thought for a second, which typically most of us autistic people do. We think before we speak. Yeah, it might be a long pause, but let us think before we speak. And Elon Musk goes, and I quote, "Give me money, give me power, I do not care. If I lose money, and I lose sponsors, and I lose donors at the expense of telling people the truth, saying what I want to say when I want to say it, because of freedom of speech, then so be it. If nobody can accept that quote and understand that that is a morally correct quote, I don't know what else will convince you. I genuinely don't. It's mind-blowing to me that so many people are against a man that owns, 5+ businesses that are helping our species become a multiplanetary species. But yet these same people that bitch about Elon Musk have George Soros running Democrats for how many decades? Have billionaires like Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders. These people got like 13 fucking houses, like 20 fucking cars. They're worth millions of dollars. Millions. Like $50+ million. But these same people are bitching about Musk trying to make the government more efficient and for the people. Yeah, you're a bright motherfucker. Y'all are bright as hell. Y'all are as bright as the sun. Y'all eat crayons for a living. Y'all literally can't even color in the coloring lines of a coloring book. Y'all have the IQ equivalent to a house gnat, not believing that this is the thing that we should be doing. And if there's no corruption and fraud in the government, then I'm sure nothing would be happening. But we're finding a bunch of corruption and fraud in the government. It's not rocket science, people. Wake the fuck up.